So Charles Barkley said super teams have damaged LeBron James' legacy. Let's get into that. What's good, guys? One and only Prince Sports here, giving you another one. Check this out. Hall of Famer Charles Barkley, a guy that I normally disagree with on a lot of levels because he say a lot of crazy stuff sometimes. But he said something that I actually agree with this time, okay? So let's check this out first, and then we get into it and I talk more about it.
Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan. LeBron is amazing. What he's done in the community is amazing. The reason I give Jordan the edge, and I'm never going to say it actually, in fairness, I haven't even put LeBron past Kobe. Let's get that out the way. I want to be fair.
All right.
The reason I put Michael up there before those other guys, LeBron has stacked his teams. Let's be realistic. And
as Kevin Durant did and others have done,
and that's why
lessen their legacy?
Yes.
Russell Westbrook now on his way. It's a trade, but on his way to the Lakers.
So I do. Like what Giannis and Dirk Nowitzki, guys like that, especially Giannis is the perfect example. They go through the grind and to lose, which Michael did. Mm-hmm. When I was watching that documentary, I was like, damn, I forgot how bad the Pistons beat him up. But going through that struggle, that's what separates sports. Like winning all the time, like we all want to win, but the struggle is part of your legacy. And what Giannis did this year, what Michael doing when the Pistons beat the hell out of him for 3 or 4 straight years, and he's like, no, I'm going to keep getting better, I'm going to keep getting better. That's the difference in my opinion.
There you have it. Charles Barkley picking Kobe Bryant over LeBron James and, of course, Michael Jordan. Now, there's other reasons why Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James, but this whole stacking team, making super team things is a hold, and it is a penalty on LeBron James's career, just like it is on Kevin Durant, all right? Mainly those two guys because what they have been doing is completely different than any other superstar in NBA history, okay? It's like if you watch that TV show, Loki, right? And they had the sacred timeline. Somebody goes off the sacred timeline. You know, that's what LeBron James and Kevin Durant did, you know? They completely changed stuff around to a point where it's not actually beneficial. It's actually in a way that actually hurts the league because it's not honorable, it's not a respectable way that people look upon sports. When we look at sports, like Charles Barkley said, your struggle is part of what we like, okay? It's not just the winning, it's what you've been through, okay? Because we are human. See, if it ain't real on a mic, you can't feel it, you know? So, you got a lot of people out there, in particular, well, not a lot, but some people, you know, say crazy stuff because they want to defend somebody. So you have a LeBron James fanboy, or in this case, a LeBron James avenger, all right? And that's Richard Jefferson. You know, he does anything for LeBron, and he got his job for LeBron, so of course he's going to cap for LeBron James. But he said the notion of stuff like, well, you know, all these other guys, you know, Tim Duncan and Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. Dog, that is not the same. Tony Parker was not from another franchise. Tony Parker wasn't a certified all-star, a top player in the league. Developed on some other team. Then he all came together to play on one team. That's completely different. Okay? That don't make any sense. You know, what number Tony Parker was drafted at? What number Manu Ginobili was drafted at? So you think you can't build a super team to a draft anyway. But if you think when Tony Parker went to the Spurs, everybody was in an uproar and be like, oh my God, the Spurs got Tony Parker. This is unfair. They got a super team. They're going to win multiple championships. Not 1, not 2, not 3. You know why people didn't say that? Because Tony Parker wasn't even developed yet. Tony Parker was a nobody. Okay? When he became somebody on the team that he was drafted on. That's not his fault. That's the other player's fault that he worked harder than you. Sometimes you can have all the talent in the world, But if your talent don't meet hard work and determination, the other guy less talented than you is going to surpass you. It's not Tony Parker's fault. He worked on his game. He got bigger. He hit the weight room. That's called development. That's normal. Okay? Those guys weren't pulled from other teams. So you mean to tell me, example, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Michael Jordan. Larry Bird plays on the Celtics, Michael Jordan plays on the Bulls, Magic Johnson plays on the Lakers. What if I was to tell you all three of those guys was going to play on the New York Knicks in the height of their career, in their prime, being the best players, being established players, what they were already? You would look at that and say that's a cheat code because they're already developed. Nut jobs. You sickos. All right? I'm talking to the people that part of this sacred cult of I guess on their knees for LeBron James. That's the best way to say it, okay? Now there's nothing wrong with having disagreements, but let's have disagreements with logic to them, okay? You cannot in your right mind, okay, tell me that a team that developed players from a draft pick the simple way is on the same level as taking players from other teams that's already established. That don't make no sense in the world. So if you own a video game company, let's say PlayStation, and you buy Microsoft Xbox, which is already established. You buy Nintendo Switch, which is already established. What are you doing? It's called monopoly. Okay, so when you make super teams in the NBA, you're pretty much making monopoly. You're monopolizing the game of basketball because you're putting everything in your favor to win, to a point where it's almost the odds are always in your favor to win most of the time, assuming that there's no injuries. You feel me? So let that soak through your head and let you understand that. Prince Sports out. Peace.